Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The temple of my heart. Please reside, O Krishna, in the temple of my heart, both day and night. O Krishna Murari, O Sri Krishna Murari. Devotion, love, flower garlands, and sandalwood, please accept these. O please accept them, O delighter of the heart. In life or in death, I worship you with these offerings. Beautiful one, O enchanter of the heart. Come, son of Nanda, and then, O son of Nanda, I will offer your arati ceremony with the lamplight of my love. The waters of the Yamuna river cascade incessantly from my eyes in your separation. O holder of the Govardhan hill, may I pass my life absorbed only in songs of your praise. O Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you, Prabhu. That's all? There's no more?
I think some people are taking.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. Hello, Hare Krishna. This next bhajan is very profound, and it says, O my mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda, Krishna, which makes one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over this ocean of worldly existence through the association of saintly persons. Both in the day and at night I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of the heat and cold, the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. What assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons, and family members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on the lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. It is the desire and great longing of Govinda Das to engage himself in the 9 processes of bhakti, namely, hearing the glories of Lord Hari and chanting those glories, constantly remembering him and offering prayers to him, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worshipping him with flowers and incense, and so forth, serving him as a friend, and completely offering the Lord one's very self. Haribol, Haribol. about that.
Yeah, this was the thing.
Okay, just put it there. Bacha hure mana, bacha hure mana, Shinandanandana, Abhaya Charanaravinda Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanaravinda You have the you don't have the words? Oh, you got it there, okay. Sita Atapa Bata Parisana Sita Atapa Bata Parisana Edina Yamini Jagire Edina Yamini Jagire Pipale Sevinu Kripana Durajana Chapala Sukalaba Lagire Chapala Sukalaba Lagire Vajahure Mana Vajahure Mana Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanaravinda Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanaravinda Sita Atapa Bata Parisana Sita Atapa Bata Parisana Edina Jamini Jagire Edina Jamini Jagire Vajahure Mana Hure Mana Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanaravinda Edana Yobana Putra Parijana Edana Yobana Putra Parijana Iteke Achipara Hitire Iteke Achipara Hitire Kamala Dalla Jalla Jivana Talamala Kamala Dalla Jalla Jivana Talamala Bahu Haripada Nitere Bahu Haripada Nitire Bajahure Manam Bajahure Manam Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanaravindare Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakijana Atma Nivedana Pujana Sakijana Atma Nivedana Bajahu Had Govinda Dasa Vilasyare Govinda Dasa Vilasyare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bajahure Mana Bajahure Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanaravindare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, my dear mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda, Lord Krishna, which makes one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over the ocean of worldly existence through the association of saintly persons. Both in the day and at night I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of heat and cold, the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. What assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons and family members? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. It is the desire and great longing of Govinda Dasa to engage himself in the 9 processes of bhakti, namely, hearing the glories of Lord Hari and chanting those glories, constantly remembering him and offering prayers to him, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, worshiping him with flowers and incense, and serving him as a friend, and completely offering the Lord one's very self. Go to Premanandi, Haribol. You're 35 minutes late. That's a record. Haribol Prabhu. Without you, Prabhu, we'd be lost here. Hare Krishna. This next bhajan is actually an arti song. And it says, the ceremony of worshipping the divine couple Radha and Krishna. Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna. All glories to the meeting of the transcendental pair Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. The gopis, headed by Lalita, perform the arati ceremony for their pleasure. The threefold bending form of Krishna, the attractor of Cupid, dressed in a yellow silk dhoti and wearing a crown decorated with peacock feathers, is simply captivating to the mind. Sitting to the left of the charming Lord Madhava, or Krishna, is the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, Srimati Radharani, dressed in a lovely deep blue sari. Her complexion is the color of molten gold, and all the characteristics of her beauty and qualities are highly praiseworthy. Radharani is decorated with various shimmering, sparkling ornaments. Her face is so splendorous that it enchants the mind of Lord Hari. The gopis of Vishaka's group sing many enchanting songs in various tunes, while the topmost class of gopis, known as the Priya Narma Sakhis, soothe Radha and Krishna by waving chamara fans. Hoping to attain the lotus feet of Radhika and Madhava, Bhakti Vinoda happily swims in the ocean of bliss found at the feet of the damsels of Rajadama. Go Premanandi, Haribol, Haribol. Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Vilalita Disaki Gan.
Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Kore Volalita Dishaki.
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Vilalati Saki Gan.
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Kore
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Lalita Disaki Gan.
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Kore Lalita Disaki Gan.
Madana Mohana Rupa Tribhanga Sundara Pitambara Sukha Pucha Chuda Manohara.
Madana Mohana Rupa Tribhanga Sundara Pitambara Sikhi Pucha Chuda Manohara.
Madana Mohana Rupa Tribhanga Sundara Pitambara Sikha Puja Chuda Manohara.
Madana Mohana Rupa Tribhanga Sundara Pitambara Sikhi Pucha Chuda Manohara.
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Lalita Disaki Gan.
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Kore Lalita Dishaki Gan.
Bolo Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Lalita Disaki Gan.
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Kore Lalita Dishaki Gan.
Lalita Madhava Vame Vrishabhanu Kanya Sunila Vasana Gauri Rupe Gunadanya
Lalita Madhava Vame Vrishabhanu Kanya Sunila Vasana Gauri Rupe Gunadanya
Lalita Madhava Vame Vrishabhanu Kanya Sunila Vasana Gauri Rupa Gunadanya
Lalita Madhava Vame Vrishabhanu Kanya Sunila Vasana Gauri Rupe Gunadanya
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Lalita Disakika
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Reno Brahma Kali Jakiga
Hey Bolo Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Lalita Disakika
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Kore Lalita Disakika
Nanavida Alankara Kori Jalamala Harimano Vihohana Vadana Ujvala
Nana Vidhi Alankara Kore Jalamala Hari Mano Vimohana Vadana Ujvala
Anavida Alankara Kori Jalamala Harimano Vimohana Vadana Ujvala
Nana Vidhi Alankara Kore Jalamala Hari Mano Vimohana Vadana Ujvala
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Lalita Disakika
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Gure Lalita Disakika
Bolo Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Lalita Disakika
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Kore Lalita Disakika
Vishakadi Saki Guna Nana Rage Gaya Priya Narma Saki Jata Chamara Dulaya
Vishakha Dishaki Gana Nana Rage Gaya Priya Narma Saki Jata Chamara Dulaya
Vishakadi Sakagala Nana Raga Gaya Priya Narma Saki Jata Chamara Dulaya
Vishakha Dishaki Gana Nana Rage Gaya Priya Narma Saki Jata Chamara Dulaya
Hey Bolo Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugalan Milan Naroti Karo Lali Tadisakigan
Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Lalita Disakhi Gana
Hey Bolo Jaya Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Lalita Disakigan
Jaya Radha Krishna Yugala Milan Arati Karo Lalita Disakhi
Shri Radha Madhava Pada Sarasi Jase Pakati Vinoda Saki Pade Sukha Base
Shri Radha Madhava Pada Sarasi Jase Bhakti Vinoda Sakhi Pade Sukhe Bhashe
Shri Radha Madhava Pada Sarasi Jase Bhakti Vinoda Sakhi Pade Sukhe Base.
Shri Radha Madhava Pada Sarasi Jase Bhakti Vinoda Sakhi Pade Sukhe Base.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hey bola Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Kartals.
Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
Hey bolo
Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hey bola Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama. Hey bola Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Bolo Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Bolo Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Bolo Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Bolo Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Nita Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Premanandi Ki Jai. All glories to the meeting of the transcendental pair, Shri Radha and Krishna. The gopis, headed by Lalita, perform the arati ceremony for their pleasure. The threefold bending form of Krishna, or Sham Sundar, the attractor of Cupid, dressed in a yellow silk dhoti and wearing a crown decorated with peacock feathers, is simply captivating to the mind. Sitting to the left of the charming Lord Madhava is the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, Srimati Radharani, dressed in a lovely deep blue sari. Her complexion is the color of molten gold, and all the characteristics of her beauty and qualities are highly praiseworthy. She is decorated with various shimmering, sparkling ornaments. Her face is so splendorous that it enchants the mind of Lord Hari, or Krishna. The gopis of Vishaka's group sing many enchanting songs in various tunes, while the topmost class of gopis, known as the Priya Narma Sakis, soothe Radha and Krishna by waving chamara fans. Hoping to attain the lotus feet of Radhika and Madhava, Bhaktivinoda happily swims in the ocean of bliss found at the feet of the damsels of Rajadharma. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Haribol. Don't go away. Oh, thank you. This next bhajan is from Mangala Gitam, which is in the Gita Govinda, Sri Jayadev Goswami. Sri Jayadev Goswami was a pure devotee of Krishna around the 12th century in Orissa. He's a genuine Oriya. And he wrote this very highly, let's say, very nectarian book called the Gita Govinda, all about Radha and Krishna's intimate pastimes together. And this is one of those bhajans by Jayadev Goswami. Jayadev Goswami was a very interesting person. He was a great devotee of Krishna. And he one day was kidnapped by these dacoits. And they stuffed him into a well by cutting off his arms and his legs. And they stuffed him into the well to die. But because he was a Mahayogi, he didn't die. And eventually he was discovered. They took him out. And when the king of Oriya found out, because he was known already as a saint, so he kept him in the palace and served him very nicely. And one day, and then somehow or other, he got his body back because he was a mystic yogi, and he was the king's personal confidant, and he became very famous. And these dacoits found out about it, so they went to see the king, and they told him that this man is a fake. He's not a real yogi. And, I mean, the king was shocked. And they said all kinds of really nasty things to malign him. And the king asked him, he said, is this true? And he said, well, they're saying it. It might be true. You know. So that was a signal to the king, look, in other words, you got to decide. And the king stayed faithful to Maharaj. And so what happened was, when the dacoits left, there was an earthquake. And what happened? The earth opened up, they fell into it, and it closed again. And this is because these dacoits, they insulted, not only they physically assaulted, but they insulted a pure devotee. And Mother Earth, or Bhumi Devi, said, there's no weight more overwhelming and vicious than a liar. Therefore, she swallowed them into the earth and killed them. So you have to be very careful, ladies and gentlemen, if you tell lies, especially if you lie about a pure devotee of the Lord. So anyway, this is a very beautiful bhajan, and it says, O Lord, Hari, O Krishna, who rests upon the breasts of the goddess of fortune, O Lord, decorated with swinging earrings, O Lord, who wears a charming garland of forest flowers, O Lord Jayadeva, who defeats all the demigods, O Lord Hari, all glories to you. O Lord, whose ornaments are as splendid as the orb of the sun, O Lord, who breaks the cycle of repeated birth and death, O swan who swims in the peaceful lake of the sages' hearts, O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O Lord, who defeated the poisonous Kaliya serpent, O delight of the people, O brilliantly shining sun that causes the lotus flower of the Yadu dynasty to bloom, O Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O killer of the demons, Madhu, Mura, and Naraka, O Lord who rides upon the back of Garuda, O Lord Hari who enjoys pastimes among the dynasties of the demigods, O Lord Jayadeva, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O Lord Krishna, whose eyes are immaculate lotus petals, O giver of liberation from the cycles of repeated birth and death, O priceless treasure of the three worlds, O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O Lord Krishna, who has become the ornament of the daughter of Maharaj Janaka, O Lord, who is victorious over all wicked demons, O Lord, who defeated the 10-headed Ravana in battle, O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O Lord Krishna, as handsome as a fresh rain cloud, O lifter of Govardhan hill, O Chakora bird who drinks the moonlight of Radharani's face, O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. O Lord, we are bowing down before your lotus feet. O please think of us in this way, and kindly grant auspiciousness to us who bow down before you. O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. Oh, this song of the poet Jayadev brings transcendental happiness. It is an auspicious, brilliantly effulgent song. O Lord Jayadev, O Lord Hari, all glories unto you. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Bol. Shitakamala kucha mandala he, drita kundala he, drita kundala he. Kalita lalita vanamala. Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare.
Kalita lalita vanamala, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare.
Jai Jai Deva Hare, Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare. Dinamani Mandala Mandana He Baba Kandana He Baba Kandana He.
Dinamani Mandala Mandana Hai Baba Khandana Hai Baba Khandana Hai.
Mani Jana Manasahamsa, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare.
Muni Jana Manasa Hamsa, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare.
Jai Jai Deva Hare, Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare. Kaliya Visharadara Ganjana He Jana Ranjana He Ranjana He.
Kaliya Visadhar Ganjana Hai Jana Ranjana Hai Jana Ranjana Hai.
Yadukula Nalina Dinesha, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare.
Yadukulanalina Dinesha, Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare.
Jai Jai Deva Hare, Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare,
Jai Jai Deva Hare, Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare, Jai Jai Deva Hare.
Madhumura Naraka Vinasana He Garu Dasana He Garu Darsana He.
Madhumura Naraka Vinasana Hai Garudasana Hai, Garudasana Hai.
Adumura naraka vinasana he garu dasana he garu dasana he.
मधुमुर नरक विनाशन है आसन है गरुड़ासन है
Surakula kili nidana Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare
सुरकुल केली निदान जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
Jai Jai Deva Hare Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare
जय जय देव हरे प्रभु जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
Amalaka Maladala Lochana He Baba Mochana He Baba Mochana He
अमल कलामल लोचन है प्रभु भव मोचन है
Chipuvana Bhuvana Nidana Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare
त्रिभुवन भुवन निधान जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
Jai Jai Deva Hare Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare
जय जय देव हरे प्रभु जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
Janaka Sutta Krita Bhusana He Jita Dusana He Jita Dusana He
जनक सुता कृत भूषण है जीता दिशन है जीता दूषण है
Samara Samita Dasa Kanta Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare
समता सीता दास कंठ जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
Samara Samita Dasa Kanta Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Samara Samita Dasa Kanta Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Jai Jai Deva Hare Prabhu Jai Jai Deva Hare
प्रभु जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
अभिनव अभिनव जलधर सुंदर है जित मंदर है जित मंदर है
अभिनव जलधर सुंदर है धृत मंदर है धृत मंदर है
श्रीमुख चंद्र चकोर जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
श्रीमुख चंद्र चकोर जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
जय जय देव हरे प्रभु जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
जय जय देव हरे प्रभु जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
तव चरणं प्रणत वायं हे इति भावयामि इति भावयामि
तव चरणं प्रणतावयं हे भावय है इति भावय है
कुरु कुशलं प्रणतेषु जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
कुरु कुशलं प्रणतेषु जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
जय जय देव हरे प्रभु जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
जय जय देव हरे प्रभु जय जय देव हरे जय जय देव हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama. Hey bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hey bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare.
Hey bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare. Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hey bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hey bola Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hey Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Nitai Gaur Premanandi Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanandi, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So I have a very interesting story to tell today. Last night there was a gentleman that came to our program, and he's a regular person that comes and does a lot of seva with his wife. And last night he told me, Prabhu, I am so happy. Everything is going really nice for me. I said, really? I said, what's happening? He said, my daughter, she's going to get married. And I've been worried about her, but she found a very good man in Canada, and they're going to get married. And he comes from a very nice family of pious people, devotees, also of Krishna. He's a vegetarian, and he's a gentleman. And he said, I'm going to go see him and his family with my wife. Not only that, he said, everything is going good for me. My business is going good, and my health is good, and my family, everyone's okay. All my other relatives, they're having problems. Their daughters are not getting married. Their business is not doing good. They're fighting. The family, intrigues and fighting. I said, well, do you attribute this fortune of yours to something? He said, of course. He said, my wife and I are coming here at least 4 or 5 times a week, and we're doing seva. This gentleman goes and buys all the different vegetables and spices and things like that for the temple. And he's been doing it for years. He said, I can see that by this seva, I'm being saved. So I told him, I said, look, this is not surprising. Anyone who takes bhakti or devotional service seriously, they notice that everything is going very nicely for them in their life. And this is stated by Krishna in the prayers to the personified Vedas in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the personified Vedas are speaking to Lord Krishna, and they say, dear Lord, the personified Vedas continued, the devotee who wants to elevate himself simply by the process of devotional activities, especially by hearing and chanting, very soon comes out of the clutches of the dualities of material existence. What are the dualities of material existence? Should I marry this person or that person? Should I invest in this stock or that stock? Should I go to this school or that school? Should I live in the United States or should I move back to India? These are all types of dualities that bother people. And it's very hard to make the right decision. right? And sometimes they make the wrong decision. Just like one time, one lady came to me, and she was telling me, Prabhuji, when I married my husband, I was sure he was Rama. But after 3 months, I found out he's Ravana. So you don't want to make a mistake like that, right? You don't want to have a love marriage because you could make a big mistake. Better to listen to your parents. Better for them to make a decision for you by analyzing the prospective, let's say, groom. But people say, oh, that's old-fashioned. No, it's not old-fashioned. It's old, good advice, right? Anyway, so it says the devotee who wants to elevate himself simply by the process of devotional activities, especially by hearing and chanting, very soon comes out of the clutches of the dualities of material existence. By this simple process of tapasya, or penance and austerity, the supersoul within the devotee's heart is very pleased and gives the devotee directions so that he may go back home, back to Godhead. It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita that one who engages all his activities and senses in the devotional service of the Lord becomes completely peaceful. Shanti. You want Shanti? This is the secret to Shanti. To engage all the activities and senses in the devotional service of the Lord, one becomes completely peaceful because the supersoul or Paramatma in the heart is satisfied with this person. Thus, the devotee becomes transcendental to all dualities, such as heat and cold, honor and dishonor, love and hate, etc. Now, this is what this man, after he's been coming to this temple for at least 20 years. And he's been doing this service for at least 5 years now, where he buys all the vegetables and the spices and whatever we need somewhere, we just call them up and the next day it's there, right? And he said, I attribute my good fortune, and my wife also agrees with me, to the fact that we're doing this seva all the time for the temple. And I'm not going to stop, he said. I'm not going to stop, because that Krishna is looking after me, and he's looking after my family, and making things easy for us. Right. So there's a nice verse in Bhagavad Gita, Yukta karma phalam tyakva santim apnoti naistikim ayukta kamakarena phale sakto nibadyate. This is the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 12th verse, and it says, the steadily devoted soul or person attains unadulterated peace, Shanti, because he offers the result of all activities to me, whereas a person who is not in union with the divine or with Krishna, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled in the laws of material nature. Now, there are 2 sets of laws that we have to know. One is the laws of the state, and the other, that most people ignore, are the laws of nature under the control of Krishna. Krishna has made these laws. Now, scientists also say the universe is acting under the influence of laws, but they don't attribute the laws to the lawmaker, Krishna. They say it just happened by accident. That, of course, is proof how stupid they are. Like, for example, let's take a look at this temple room. Everything you see in this temple room has been manufactured by intelligent men and women. The carpet, the tiles, the sound system, the windows, everything, right? Everything in our life, cars, cell phones, computers, houses, your teeth, bridges that you get in your teeth, they're all made by intelligent people. None of them were made by accident or by infinite combinations and permutations of matter. They were all made by intelligent people. But yet, when we talk about the universe, the PhDs, they say it happened by accident. What? Are you crazy? The universe is much more complicated than the rugs and the cell phones and all these things. Much more complicated. There are many more what you would call, like for example, if you make a normal a normal program, there's usually about 3,000 aspects to it, and you have to put them in sync, right? You know how many aspects there are for just spring? Billions. How do you think all those flowers, each flower has a different scent, has different colors, has different shapes, right? Where do you think all that came from? Who did all that? How about the planets? They're going in perfect orbits, and they're staying in the orbit. And you can keep your time by the movement of those planets. And every year there has to be a correction, because there's some, our watches are not as perfect as the movement of the planets. So who's organizing this? They say it happened by accident. That means they're the most stupid people in the world. And then they come up with crazy, nowadays, they haven't come up with anything new in the last 120 years. The last major breakthrough they made was electromagnetism. That was it. They're just going on electromagnetism now. They haven't found anything else. Before that, Newton gave some laws of gravity, and then the Faraday, Maxwell, and then after that, Jagadish Chandra Bose, and then of course Einstein. They came up with electromagnetism and how to control electromagnetic waves. Actually, it was Jagadish Chandra Bose who first demonstrated electromagnetic waves controlled in the Royal Academy of Science of London in 1898. He was on one side of the big hall of science in London, and he projected electromagnetic wave all the way on the other side of the hall and set fire to something. And everyone thought he was a magician. He wasn't a magician, he was a real scientist. But because he was an Indian, they didn't give him the recognition. They gave it to but he was the one that was before all these other people. Of course, the science behind it was developed by Faraday in the 1850s and put into mathematical equations by Maxwell, both Englishmen. But it was Jagadish Chandra Bose that actually first showed how to control an electromagnetic wave. In other words, he is the father of your cell phones, of television, of radio, and all kinds of electromagnetic miracles, let's put it. But since then, there has not been a major breakthrough in science. Therefore, what they're doing now is bluffing. They talk about quarks and dark holes and things like that you can never really prove exist or doesn't exist, right? Like, for example, if kids are studying science in school, and as part of the science class, they say that the sun is 93 million miles from the Earth. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you heard that the sun is 93 million miles from the Earth? Yeah. Have you ever measured it yourself? Do you think you ever even try to measure it? So you're just accepting what they tell you. You don't know if it's 92,500,000 or 93,500,000. They just say 93 million. And then you take a test, and on the test they say, how far is the sun from the Earth? 93 miles, 930 miles, 9,300 miles, or 93 million miles, right? So if you answer 93 million, you get an A on the test. But that's something that you'll never verify yourself. And you don't really know if it's 93 million miles, you see? So this is called bluffing. They are making up things. Now, it may be true, it may not be true. It doesn't matter. You can't verify it. So you just have to accept what they say. So they say there's dark holes, there's quarks, there's this thing, there's that thing in the universe. You don't know. And they're not going to know either. You know how much of the visible, you know how much is the visible universe? Only 6% of the universe is visible. But to get to the edge of that visibility, it could take you 40 billion light years. Now, I don't know if you know what a light year is. The speed of light is 186,000 miles per second. Now, the distance the light goes in 1 year at 186,000 miles per second is a light year. And they've calculated that it would take 40 billion years to get to the edge of the visible universe, right? And then after that, the 94% of the universe they call dark matter. They don't know what it is exactly. Of course, it is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam what it is. But that's another subject. You would have to come to my classes every morning at 6:30 to know all these things in depth. So we see nobody's ever going to go even to that 6% of the universe and find out what's going on. We only live at most 100 years. So you see, there are many, many mysteries in the universe that nobody knows about. But they're all explained in the in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Indians don't understand this about their own culture and their own literature. I'll give you another example. Why did the Germans have much more advanced rockets, airplanes, and other types of weapons than the Americans and the British and the Russians in World War II? Because Hitler, after he took over Germany, which is approximately 1930s, 1933, 34, he sent his best Sanskrit scholars, and the Germans were considered the best Sanskrit scholars outside of India. He sent them to Chennai, where there is a special Vedic library with ancient texts, and they purchased copies of the Vimana texts in the Vedas. They went back to Germany, and because of that, they had the most advanced rockets during World War II and airplanes, far better than the Americans. The American rocket experimentation in the 1940s was compared to firecrackers, compared to the rockets that the Germans had. They were like rockets like today. They were throwing rockets. They were launching rockets on London. They were blowing up things all over the place, right? So we see, you don't realize, you're Indians, but you don't realize how profound your shastras are. You don't really read them either, you know. And because of that, basically Hinduism is failing in India today. Failing big time. And if something doesn't happen to stop the bleeding of Hinduism, there's not going to be any Hindus left in India. In fact, the Muslims are already saying, the Hindus should all leave India. This is our country now. They say it openly. Anyway, that's not our purpose today. So this verse says, the steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace, or shanti, because he or she offers the result of all activities to me, meaning Krishna. Whereas a person who is not in union with the divine personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. And the explanation of this verse is the difference between a person who is practicing Krishna consciousness, or bhakti yoga, which means serving Radha and Krishna with love and devotion, without any material desire. That's what this couple are doing. They've been doing it for 5 years. They don't ask for any money. They just offer their service without any expectation of a return. And look what's happened to them. They're happy, they're prosperous, their daughter's getting married, and so forth. And they're very peaceful. Okay, so the difference between a person in Krishna consciousness and a person in bodily consciousness, is that the former is attached to Krishna, whereas the latter is attached to the results of his activities. The person who is attached to Krishna and works for him only is certainly a liberated person. And such a person has no anxiety over the results of his work. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, the cause of anxiety over the result of an activity is explained as being one's functioning in the conception of duality. As we explained what duality is. Love and hate. Should I buy this stock or that stock? Should I marry this person or that person? Should I buy this car or that car? Should I live in America or go back to India? Should I live or die? Right? People are troubled by these dualities. Sometimes they get very frustrated and very anxious. So that's because of functioning in the concept of duality. Now, what's the alternative? The alternative is to function in the concept of oneness. Oneness with Krishna. What does that mean? Just like in a family, if all the brothers and sisters in the family cooperate with Pitaji, there's oneness in the family. There's no arguing going on. They all agree to whatever Pitaji says, that's what we're going to do. You see, whatever father says, that's what they're going to do. And by the way, that is the secret to success. There are many Gujarati families, many Punjabi families, even today, they live in community. The whole family lives in one house with sometimes 3, 4 generations in that house, and it's a big house. And they all engage in the business. Like you go to Canada, you go to California, you'll see Sikhs that have these big farms, and they're making a lot of money because the whole family works together. Now, how do you keep a family together? A family that prays together stays together, right? So, prays together is not when you tell your little kid, Jai Karo, Jai Karo, Jai Karo, and he goes like this or something, But they never bring the kid to the temple. They never put the kid in our schools, right? It's just Jai Karo, and then when he gets to be 16 years old, he says, I'm not doing any more Jai Karos, don't ask me. Because I don't know what the hell it's about, right? Because they never actually taught their kid anything. And this has gone on for the last 2 or 3 generations in India, where the passation of the culture has broken down, and the kids don't really know anything. And then they go to school, and the Christian kids say, oh, you're going to hell because you don't believe in Jesus. And the kid doesn't know what to say. Does that ever happen to you, Pope? Yeah? They don't try and preach to you? No. Outside of the school, in the recess, and when you're talking. No? Okay. That's because the Christian kids also are not being trained. That's why. They used to be trained. Nobody's training them anymore because nobody cares. The parents don't care. So the idea is a family that prays together stays together. And when you have that family unity, everything you do will be successful as long as there's no arguing. See? And why would people argue? Because there's selfishness, right? And enviousness. But if the first principle of education is amanitvam. Amanitvam in Sanskrit means humility. You can't have knowledge if you're not humble, because whatever knowledge you'll have, you'll misuse it for making atomic bombs and COVID-19 and 24 and 36 and 98. See? You'll use all your education to make destructive things, just to make money. So now there's a new god in India. He's called Rupiah. He's not called Krishna. He's not called, Ram. It's called Rupiah. Everyone is working for Rupiah. They're not working for God anymore. And because of that, there's a lot of trouble. Okay, so here it says, yeah, go ahead, speak in the microphone.
So, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Yesterday we were at the Sankirtan Guru Maharaj.
Yes.
And
Sankirtan means we go out every Saturday chanting Hare Krishna, dancing, giving out free prasadam, and preaching and giving books that talk about Krishna so people can get some education. Go ahead.
So Maharaj, we were doing the Sankirtan, we were singing the holy name of the Lord, and we had a few kids who were distributing the cookies, burritos and the books along with the Prabhujis, the adult Prabhujis. So
Some of the kids that were with you were distributing our goodness cookies
goodness cookies, yeah.
and our Hari Burrito.
Burritos, yes.
Yeah. Hari Burrito. It's not Mexican burrito, Hari Burrito. Go ahead.
So one white man in his around maybe 30.
One white man?
Yes.
One of those evil white men? Okay.
So he came and then he all of a sudden he stood in front of us.
Yes.
And he started telling the kids that Jesus is the real God.
Yes.
Believe in Jesus and do not believe in anyone. Then he will take care of everyone. Then he started talking about Jesus a lot. So our kids were just looking at him.
Yeah.
But then after a couple of minutes we asked him to leave because he was making a lot of noise there. But he still persisted with his message. So we just moved a little bit away. And then we also asked the kids to, move a little bit away from him. But yes, you are absolutely right, Maharaj. He was trying to tell our kids that Jesus is the only
You're
God.
going to
we
hell.
should be- yeah.
You're all going to hell, man.
And I can say in the Bible, Jesus has very clearly said, I am not doing my will, but the one who sent me forth. He never said, I am God. Jesus has made it.
No, but we're not talking about what Jesus said. We're
Yeah,
talking
you
about
understand.
what the so-called the devotees of Jesus say.
We have to tell this fact to these guys. And look, Jesus never said he is God.
They won't listen
He
to
is
you.
doing that.
They won't listen to one word you say.
And they haven't read the Bible. I taught them.
That's true. By the way, the worst Christians in the world are Hindus that become Christians. I'm a Christian. My whole family, I was born a Christian, baptized a Christian. I know what Christianity is. Hindus who become Christians, they're not Christians. They're taught hatred. They're taught hatred of Hindus, and they're trying to destroy it. Right? So they're not Christians. Christians are merciful. They're gentle, right? In the Bible it says if someone smites you on the right cheek, you turn the left cheek so they can hit you on the left cheek also. See, that's what happened to Jesus. He was crucified, but he didn't die.
Yeah, even when
He died, but then he resurrected. See?
Even when crucified, he was telling, Father, they don't know what they are doing.
Yes.
Forgive them.
Yeah, and they still don't know. Okay, but that's another question. I am a Christian. I never stopped being a Christian. But I learned more about Christianity when I read Bhagavad Gita than all the time I was reading the Bible. Right. Okay, so now it says, therefore, activities in Krishna consciousness are on the transcendental plane. That means they're not under the control of the three modes of material nature, sattva, rajas, and tamas. They are Sudasattva, transcendental to these three modes. These three modes of material nature are supernatural forces that control the activities of all people. They're under the control of the devatas. So, by hearing Bhagavad Gita and following the example of Arjuna, you can become free of these sattva, rajas, and tamas and come to Sudasattva. Then you're a liberated person, even in this world. Like Narada Muni, he's a liberated person. He's Superman. He doesn't need a Boeing 777 to go from Seattle to Chennai, right? Just his body, he can go anywhere in the universe, not even on the earth, anywhere in the universe he can. Now, this is not an exaggeration. Of course, you might say, oh no, this is all mythology. No, that's what the British taught the Indians. That your shastras are mythology. They're not mythology. They're science. Just like it says, for example, that there are 4 material laws in nature. Birth, old age, disease, and death. You can't stop these things. With all the abortion and all the contraception, still the population of the world is increasing. It might decrease a little bit in countries like England or Germany, or even maybe in the United States. That's not really decreasing in the United States. But it might decrease here, but it's increasing over the world. See? So you cannot stop birth, you cannot stop getting old, you cannot stop getting sick, and you cannot stop death. Because it's law. It's called, or another way it's called laws of nature, but another way to name it is dharma. Dharma is something you cannot change because it's ordained by God. Now, if you're an intelligent person, you would say, look, I don't want any of those four things. I don't want to get old. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to die. And I don't want to take birth again. So a person who asks that question, why is this happening to me? That's the beginning of spiritual life. And if you never ask that question, you will never have a spiritual life. The most important question in your life is, why is this happening to me? Because I don't want it to happen to me. Who wants to get old? Who wants to get sick? Who wants to die? Nobody wants that, right? But yet it's happening. So unless you ask the question, and you have to ask the question, you could ask me the question right now if you want. I can explain why it's happening and how to stop it. That's what Bhagavad Gita is all about, how to stop that birth, old age, disease, and death, and become liberated and go back where we came from, which is Vaikuntha or Goloka. That's where we came from. We are not this body. We're not meant to suffer. We're meant to be happy all the time. Anandamaya Bhyasat. That's the nature of the soul, is to be happy. And we have an eternal soul. But our problem is we only develop body-to-body relationships, not soul-to-soul relationships. So if you come regularly to the temple, it's not that we are going to teach. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna we're going to simply repeat what Krishna says. To be a guru, you have to repeat exactly the words of Krishna. To be a kangaroo, you can say anything you want. You see? And there's more kangaroos than gurus. Yeah, because they're just making things up, right? The scientists are kangaroos, the philosophers are kangaroos. A lot of the gurus in India are kangaroos, right? But if you want to be a bona fide guru, you have to repeat what Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita and what the great acharyas have said in Srimad Bhagavatam. Then you become a guru. You simply have to repeat. You don't have to make anything up because it's already perfect. So here it's saying that one is therefore filled with peace in Krishna consciousness, but one who is entangled in profit calculation for sense gratification cannot have that peace. This is the secret of Krishna consciousness, realization that there is no existence besides Krishna, and that is the platform of peace and fearlessness, or abhaya and shanti. So, this profit calculation is actually poison. Because, like for example, we have free food trucks. Every time we go out, new people come and say, what's the hook in this thing? You're saying it's free, but what do we have to do? We have to buy something. You're trying to sell us something, therefore you just to get us to come to your truck, you say it's free? No, we say, look, it is actually free. But what's the hook? I mean, what's the trick here? There's no trick. Really? You mean you're just giving it out free? Yes, we've been doing it 5 years. We have 3 trucks now, and our devotees, none of them get paid to go out with the truck, and it's hard work, right? And we do it free. So it's hard for people to believe that there's something like this. And also the prasadam in this temple is free. We don't say give this money or that money. We don't go around and say, okay, give some dan right now. You know, you're sitting here in the temple, give some dan. We don't do that. We don't say, $21 for boga, $100 for kar puja, and this thing and that thing. If you don't want to give anything, you don't give anything. If you want to give something, you give something. We're not worried about money. We're worried about the quality of our devotees. Are they actually humble? Are they actually prideless? Are they actually clean? Are they actually sincere? Are they patient? Are they tolerant? Are they actually trying to do good? This temple functions on the Vedic principle of para upakar, do good to others. That is our motto, para upakar. And if we're not doing good, you tell me, whoever it is, even if it's me, they will get punished. Okay, so as soon as you're free from these dualities, you feel transcendental bliss, and you no longer suffer cares and anxieties due to material existence. Most people get sick for 3 reasons. They overeat, they don't keep themselves clean, or they have anxiety. Anxiety is the biggest cause of disease in this country. Almost half of the whole United States population are taking drugs because of anxiety. I don't know about India. Of course, they have charas, right? All the taxi drivers, they have anxiety because you always see them going like this, you know. Yeah, well, tobacco is a drug. It's a drug, right? So you see, they're all in anxiety. So, and now in India, but before you never saw this, but it's about 10, 15 years ago, I went to a ticket agent to buy a ticket to come back to the United States, and I saw something I couldn't believe. There were some other people before me, so there was a husband and wife, two couples, and he was talking with them and joking around with them. And then he turns around, he has a Almera. Out of the Almera, he pulled out a bottle of Johnny Daniels whiskey. I couldn't believe it, you know. And he had his tumblers, and he poured whiskey for each one of those people. And the women and the men drank it. They were Hindus. Now it's worse. You go even to a little village in India, there are 3 liquor salesmen there, stores. Is that right? Is that right? Yeah. I mean, you guys going? Yeah, I mean, this was unheard of before. There's a major change taking place in India. The whole culture is starting to fall apart. See, India before was a rich country. Why do you think Muhammad Ghazni invaded India? Why do you think the Mongols invaded India? Why do you think Alexander the Great invaded India? Why do you think the British invaded India? Because India was a rich country. It was not a poor country. And why was it a rich country? Because they followed Sanatan Dharma. But after the 800 years of Islam and 150, 200 years of British, India became a poor country. People would say, "Oh, the Indians are poor; they're starving." See, but when I went to India the first time in 1973, I didn't see any starving people. Yeah, you saw some beggars in Calcutta and a few other places, but there's food everywhere, right? I mean, there's a huge population there, and there's a lot of farming going on. But there were people starving because of war. There was 3 wars with Pakistan, and a lot of people became dislocated, and there were problems like that. But anyway, India was a rich country. Now, it was rich because the people were good. They were following Sanatan Dharma, and God was helping them. Krishna was helping them. See, but now it's turning around. A lot of people are not following Sanatan Dharma, and there are a lot of problems. Okay, so I'll stop right there. Does anyone want to ask me a question?
Bro, only one small thing I would like to
How small is it?
It's very small.
Okay, go ahead.
The distance between the sun and the earth, it is measured by means of the speed of light. The speed of light is used to measure the distance between earth and the earth and sun. It is scientific. It is not I think some of the information what he has said is,
Did you do the experiment?
see, the speed of light as you
Answer
have...
the question. Did you do the experiment?
Can you repeat again?
Did you do the experiment? Do you have a machine that I guess it's a laser beam or something. It goes to the sun and bounces back. Did you do that experiment?
You know, when it is arising and when the sunlight hits the earth,
I know, but did you do the experiment?
Yeah, there are so many. Even using that only, we are able to reach even the moon. That is Mars.
You didn't do,
Mars.
No. You personally did
Yes.
not do the
No,
experiment.
I didn't
you
do
don't
it.
know
It has
if that's
been done.
true or not.
No, it is whether I am doing it or not. It has been done, and it is scientifically proved. The distance between Earth and this one, it is not fixed. 93
Okay, I'll
million,
give you
it
information
ranges.
next week to show you it's not exact.
You know,
It's an
range.
approximation.
It is elliptical. You know, it is not circular movement.
It's an approximation, Prabhu. I'll give you the evidence next week. No, let's not argue now. Okay?
Yeah,
Any other questions? Okay, then we'll have Arti. Hare Krishna. And we want to thank the sponsors of our feast tonight, Ramani Katari, on the occasion of Lahari Katari's birthday, and Goda Kalyanam. Thank you very much. Haribol, Mataji. And also Ajay Suhag on the occasion of his birthday. Okay, if Ajay is here, and if there's a cake, we'll celebrate it. And also, we want to say goodbye to Sumit Kedia Prabhu and his family. They're moving to Pennsylvania. And we want to thank him for all the services he and his family did. And they did a lot of services. So thank you very much, Sumit. And we hope you'll be very successful in, yeah. It's all right. It's all right. Jayo Jaya Gora Chande Arati Ke Soba. Jana Vita Tavane Jamana Loba
Jana Vita Tavane Jagamana Loba
Orangera Ruti Janamana Loba
Gaurangera Ratike Shobha Jaga Janamana Loba
Gorangera Rotik Soba Jagajana Mana Loba
Gaurangera Ratike Shobha Jaga Janamana Loba
Kibadaki Nitaya Cham Palmengadadara
Kibadaki Nainitae Chan Bame Gadadara
Nikate Kalita Shini Vasachachadara
Nikate Adveda Shrini Vasachhatradara
Gaurangera Rutik Soba Jagajana Mana Loba
Gaurangera Ratike Shobha Jaga Janamana Loba
Gaurangera Rutik Soba Jagajana Mana Loba
Gaurangera Ratike Shobha Jaga Janamana Loba
Kibaboshi Goche Chande Ratna Singasane Kibaboshi Ache Gora Chande Ratna Singasane Arati Kore na Brahma Adi Deva Gane
आरती कोरे ना ब्रह्मा आदि देवगाने
Gaurangera Rotik Soma Jagajana Manaloma
गौरंगेरा आरती के शोभा जग जन माना लोभा
Gaurangera Rotik Soma Jagajana Manaloma
गौरंगेरा आरती के शोभा जग जन माना लोभा
Shivanara Hari Adhikari Chamara Dulaya
जीवनरारी आदि कोरी चामर दुलाया
Ranjaya Mukunda Vasu Gosa Adigaya
संजया मुकुंद बाशु घोष आदि गाया
Gaurangera Rotik Shobha Jagajana Manaloba
गौरंगेरा रति के शोभा जग जन माना लोभा
Gaurangera Rotik Shobha Jagajana Manaloba
गौरंगेरा रति के शोभा जग जन माना लोभा
Kiba Shanka Baje Ganta Baje Baje Karatala
जीवा शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताला
Madhurami Ganga Baje Paramarasala
मृदंगा बाजे परामरसाला
Shanka Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje
शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे
Bolo Shanka Baje Ganta Baje Madhur 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 Baje
शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे
Madhur 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 Baje
माधुर बाजे
Madhur 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 Baje
माधुर 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 बाजे
Ki Baba Ho Kote Chanda Jini Vadana Ujvala
शिवा बहु कोटि चंद्रजीनी वदन उज्ज्वला
Lala Dese Manamala Gori Jala Mala
देसे बनमाला कोरे जलमाला
Shiva Sukhanarada Premigada Gada
सुख नारदा
me gada gada.
Bhakti vinoda dekhe Gaurara sampada.
Bhakti vinoda dekhe Gaurara sampada.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hey.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hey.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hoy Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hoy Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hoy Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol,
Hari Bol.
Gora Hari Bol, Nitya Gora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitya Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gora Hari Bol, Nitya Gora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Gora Premanandi ki jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Prarajika Chasta Tarasa Tarasi Shishimari's Divine Grace. ऐसे भक्तिवेदांत गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवाश्री गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ संकीर्त राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की गंगा माया की जमुना माया की सामवेद भक्तवृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namaste Narasimhaya Praladayani.
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय प्रह्लादलाददायिने
Namaste Narasimhaya Praladayani.
नमस्ते नरसिंह
Hiranyakashipurbakshah Shilatam Kanagalaye. Hiranyakashipurbakshah Shilatam Kanagalaye. Nishinga parato nishinga yato yato yamita to nishinga bolo parato nishinga yato yato yamita to nishinga bai nishinga idaye nishinga narashina madin saranam prapade bolo nishinga idaye Tavakara kamala bare naka haduta shinga dalika hiranyakashipu tanuminga keshavajita narahari rupa jai jagadesha hare jai jagadesha hare jai jagadesha hare.
Tavakara kamala bare naka adbhuta shringam dalita hiranyakashipu tanuvringam keshavadita narahari rupa jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare.
Keshavajita narahari rupa jaya jagadesha hare jaya jagadesha hare jaya jagadesha hare.
Keshavadita narahari rupa jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
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 Bolo Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Hey, bolo Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Bolo Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Keshavaya Namaha. Keshavaya Namaha.
Keshavaya Namaha. Keshavaya
Hey,
Namaha.
bolo Keshavaya Namaha. Keshavaya Namaha.
Keshavaya Namaha. Keshavaya Namaha.
Keshavaya Namaha. Keshavaya Namaha.
Keshavaya Namaha. Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopala Govinda Ram Shimadhusudan.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana.
Gopala Govinda Ram Shimadhusudan.
Gopala Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana.
Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Gopala Govinda Ram Shimadhusudan.
Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Bolo Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan.
Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana.
Hare Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Manaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Oi.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Oi, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita.
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 Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita.
Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita.
Hey, bolo Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita.
Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita.
Bhagavata Gita, Bhagavata Gita. Gita.
Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita.
Hey, bolo Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita.
Bolo Hari Guru Vaishnava, Bhagavad Gita.
Hari Guru Vaishnava, Bhagavad Gita.
Hari Hadaye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hey, bolo Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Hey, bolo Hardavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hey,
Hare.
bolo Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Bolo
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Bolo Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Ora Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Just him playing. Jai Nandalala, Jai Gopala,
Jai Nandalala, Jai Gopala.
Jai Jananda, Jai Gopala.
Jai Nandalala, Jai Gopala.
Slower, slower. Jai Nandalala, Jai Gopala.
Jai Nandalala, Jai Gopala.
Radhe Govinda, मन बजले हरि का प्यार नाम है.
श्री राधे गोविंदा, मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है.
श्री राधे गोविंदा, मन बजले हरि का प्यार नाम है.
श्री राधे गोविंदा, मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है.
गोपाला हरि का प्यार नाम है, नंदलाला हरि का प्यार नाम है.
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है, नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है.
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला,
जय नंदलाला जय गोपाला.
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 जय मुकुट गल बन मल केसर तिलक लगाए केसर तिलक लगाए मोर मुकुट गल बल मल केसर तिलक लगाए केसर तिलक लगाए वृंदावन की कुंज गलिन में सबको नाचन जाया
वृंदावन की कुंज गली में सबको नाचन छाया
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन बचले हरि का प्यार नाम है
राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यार नाम है
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यार नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यार नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है
जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला
जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला
बोलो जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला
जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला
यमुना किनारे देनु चरावे माधव मदन मुरारी माधव मदन मुरारी
यमुना किनारे देनु चरावे माधव मदन मुरारी
माधव मदन मुरारी
मधुरा मुरलिया जब बाजावे हरले सुध बुद्धि सारी
मधुर मुरलिया जबी बजावे हरले सुध बुध सारी
श्री राधे गोविंदा अमन बजले हरि का प्यार नाम है
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यार नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यार नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है
जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला
जय नंद लाला जय गोपाल
बोलो जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला
जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला
गिरिधर नागर खेती मेरा सुर को श्यामल पाया सुर को श्यामल पाया
गिरधर नागर कहती मीरा सुर को श्यामल भाया सुर को श्यामल भाया
तुकराम और नाम देव ने विठल विठल गाया
तुकाराम और नामदेव ने विठ्ठल विठ्ठल गाया
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन बचले हरि का प्यार नाम है
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यार नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यार नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है
नंद लाला हे गोपाला
जय नंद लाला जय गोपाल
बोलो हे नंद लाला हे गोपाला
जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला
राधा शक्ति बिन न कोई श्यामल दर्शन पावे श्यामल दर्शन पावे
राधा शक्ति बिना न कोई श्यामल दर्शन पावे श्यामल दर्शन पावे
आराधन कर राधे राधे कन्ना बागे आवे
आराधन कर राधे राधे काना भागे आए
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन बचले हरि का प्यार नाम है
श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यार नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यार नाम है
गोपाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है नंद लाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है
जय नंद लाला जय गोपाला
गोपाल
बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
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 बोलो जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
बोलो
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय गोपाल
नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय 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 नंदलाल
जय
जय
गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल बोलो बोलो
जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय नंदलाल जय गोपाल
जय गौर पिंगल श्री श्री राधा नील माधव की जय. Now we're going to give a chance to all the other kirtaniyas here. Who's going to, you going to sing, Prabhu? You want
I
to
can sing, Maharaj.
Huh?
I can sing.
Yeah, go ahead. You know what Sing Sing is? No? It's a jail in the Far East.
नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद. Hare Krishna.
is a very good singer. Oh, no, you can sing. Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
You're right next.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo bolo
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
बोलो बोलो जोर
Hare
से
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo bolo
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Bolo
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare
Hare Rama Rama
Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Bolo
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Rama
Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna. Come on, everyone. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Louder, louder. Rama, Rama Rama. One more time.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
जय राधा नील माधव राधा नील माधव श्री राधे
जय राधा नीला माधव श्री राधे.
ओ जय राधा नील माधव श्री राधे
जय राधा नीला माधव श्री राधे.
ओ जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे बोलो बोलो
जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे.
ओ जय राधे जय राधे जय राधे जय श्री राधे